Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a very fun style called forest planting, or in Japanese they call it Yose. It is a type of planting that really allows you to show off your skills and creativity as a bonsai artist. That's because in this style, the focus is not on a single tree, but instead on a collection of trees. There are many different styles in bonsai, such as formal upright, informal upright, S-shape, and so on. But with forest planting, there are several styles and each one is unique. The goal of this style is to create a realistic forest scene, showing depth of field and perspective as if you were an explorer deep within a forest, and really gives you a sense of awe and wonder. It's really amazing when done well. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, you need to acquire some trees to plant in your forest. If you're like me and you live in a colder climate, then most likely you don't have access to tropical trees. So for this demonstration, I will be using juniper. In general, the best trees for forest planting are coniferous trees, which are trees that bear cones and needles and keep them year-round. You may be asking, why not deciduous trees? Well, it's because conifers create more of a natural look in forest settings compared to their deciduous counterparts. And conifers also grow much slower, making them ideal for growing into bonsai. And junipers specifically are known to be one of the most hardy and forgiving species out there, perfect for beginners. When choosing your trees, it is important to pick healthy specimens. Look for trees without pests or diseases and make sure the branches are flexible and can be manipulated easily. Also try to choose trees that have good taper or nebari, which is the thickness of the trunk near the roots. Another important thing is to look for trees that have good ramification. This means that the tree has lots of branch intersections, which will allow you to create more of a dense foliage effect. For example, this juniper has good ramification, whereas this one does not. Now, once you have acquired your trees, it's time to start planting. And before we move on, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Art Green, a platform where you can learn anything about art for free. They have classes on drawing, painting, sculpting, and so much more. It is the perfect place for anyone who wants to learn something new or improve their skills. Alright, let's go back to the trees. As I mentioned earlier, forest planting is different from other styles of bonsai, because instead of focusing on one single tree, we are planting multiple trees in a low and wide container. There are several ways you can do this, and it all depends on the look you are going for. One method is to plant 3 trees at varying heights. This creates a sense of depth and perspective and is a great way to start off with forest planting. To do this, choose 3 trees of similar size and shape and plant them accordingly. Or another approach is to plant a group of small trees. This creates a more natural look and can be a bit more challenging. Choose trees with good ramification and taper and plant them close together. Finally, there is the cascade style, which involves planting trees that cascade over the edge of the container. This is a more advanced technique, but looks absolutely amazing when done correctly. Choose trees that cascade naturally and have good ramification. As you can see, there are many ways you can approach forest planting, and each one is unique in its own way. When planting, it is important to use a soil mix that retains moisture well. A good mix is typically composed of equal parts of organic matter, such as decomposed granite or leaf mold, and inorganic matter, such as pumice or perlite. It is also important to use a drainage layer to prevent the roots from sitting in water. A simple mix of coarse sand and gravel will suffice. Once you have your soil mix ready, it's time to plant your trees. Start by digging a hole that is twice the width of the root ball and just as deep. Add a layer of drainage material to the bottom of the hole, then fill it with the soil mix. Water the tree to help settle the roots, then backfill any remaining space with more soil mix. Space your trees evenly and leave a few inches between them. Remember, these trees will grow and fill in over time, creating a dense forest effect. Finish by adding more soil around the base of the trees to create a natural look. You should now have a beautiful mini forest growing in your container. Now the next step is to style the trees. This is where your creativity and skill really shine. One way to style the trees is to prune them heavily. This will encourage new growth and create a denser, more natural look. Another way to style the trees is to wire them. This allows you to bend the branches and create more interesting shapes. Just remember to remove the wire after a month or so to prevent the bark from being damaged. Finally, you can also add moss to your forest planting to create a more mature look. Moss grows well in areas with shade and humidity, so it is a perfect addition to a forest planting. Simply place the moss around the base of the trees and water it regularly. The last step to finish off your forest planting is to add some decorations. These can be rocks, branches, or even figurines. Adding decorations can really take your forest planting to the next level and create a truly unique piece of art. Now, here's a tip on how to care for your forest planting. Water it deeply, but infrequently. A good rule of thumb is to water when the top inch of soil is dry. Be sure to check the soil daily, especially during hot, dry periods. It is also important to fertilize your forest planting regularly. Use a balanced fertilizer and apply it according to the instructions. With proper care, your forest planting will thrive and become a beautiful centerpiece in your home or garden. Now I know that was a lot of information, but hopefully you now understand the basics of forest planting. Now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on forest planting? Have you ever tried it before? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy bonsaiing.